And we're live. Well, welcome to our very first live YouTube edition of The Movie Edge, aka the best damn movie show. I'm your host, Vincent Espada, and joining me, as always, the man that sits in the fourth row from the fourth row, Dan Skip Allen. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing fun. I'm doing fine. I had a good day. I saw 3 movies today.
Ripping some leather before we got on, huh?
Yeah, well, you know how that goes. We all go there.
Well, tonight we got to see a sneak preview of Nonstops featuring Liam Neeson. It comes out February 28th, correct?
Yeah, this Friday.
This Friday. And what'd you think about it, Skip?
You know, I mean, these kinds of formulaic kinds of movies, these kinds of action movies, they give you the clues, and it's up to you if you can figure out what's going to happen. And from the very beginning, I saw some actors. I like the fact that they had some familiar faces. As far as if you watch some of these TV shows like Downton Abbey, they had Michelle Dockery. If you watch Hell on Wheels, you had Anton Mount. If you saw Jackie Robinson last year, you had Chadwick Boseman. Of course, you had the familiar big-name actors, Julianne Moore and the main man himself, Liam Neeson. I mean, I think it's formulaic. I mean, if you've seen these kinds of movies before, it's a lot similar to the movies we've seen. I mean, there's some twists and turns in there, but I think it was kind of predictable. As far as I'm concerned, I think it was pretty predictable.
Well, Chadwick Boseman is Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, I know.
So Mr. Jackie Robinson did a little cameo in the movie, and he looked a little different. You know, I didn't recognize him when I first saw him. I didn't recognize Chadwick Boseman until the end. It was kind of sad that I waited to the end to know that was Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, well, I did my homework before going into the movie, and I checked the cast out, and I saw some of the names, and it was neat to see some. Oh yeah, and I left out Lupita Nyong'o. We all know her from the Oscar-nominated 12 Years a Slave. This Sunday is the Oscars, so
this Sunday is the Oscars, March 1st, right on. Is it NBC?
It'll be on ABC. On March 2nd.
Oh, March 2nd, huh?
Yes, March 2nd.
I'm getting my things. I thought it was March 1st.
Sunday, March 2nd.
March 2nd. I wondered.
We all made, you and I and Aaron made our predictions on what we thought we were going to win, so we should do a show on Monday or Tuesday and go over a list of our predictions, because you have the list still, right?
I still have the list, and we're actually going to do an Oscar show.
Okay.
We're going to do a Sunday Oscar show. Right before the Oscars, we're going to go on. We're going to give our predictions again. We're going to talk some Oscar news. Maybe we can have our buddy Aaron come in.
Yeah, that'd be great. You know, we always welcome Aaron. He's very informative and knows what he's talking about.
Well, this is the Best Day Movie Show, so we're going to do a 30-minute segment of our original show, and then next Monday we're going to start fresh with the new Best Day Movie Show live on YouTube and TalkShoe.com. We're going to do a double feature right there. Before we go into that, I thought Nonstop was actually not bad. It got a little boring towards the middle because it was the same thing, and they didn't know what was going on. And I don't want to give too much away, but I just thought that the premise was going over and over and over and over again, and we were sitting there going, okay, you've already said that, you've already done that. But I'll give this movie a 6.
Yeah, I'm about the same as you. I mean, I give it it's one of those movies you see once and then you say, that's good enough. 6 is probably exactly, I'd say a mild see it for me, and I'm probably not going to see this movie again. You know, it's one of those, hey, we saw it, it was okay. Wasn't great, wasn't bad. You're right.
Also, we're going to let's get into the top 5 movies of the week. It's brought to you by Los Spadas. If you want the best cheesesteak in the world, look no further than Los Spadas. We got 3 locations for you: Orlando, Sanford, and Orange City. We fly the bread right from Philly to the heart of Orlando, brotherly love, right to Orlando love. And the Skip, my buddy here, Skip, myself, actually had one today.
Yes, I did. I haven't had one in a while, and I was craving one.
You went to the Orange City location.
Yes, I went to the Orange City location.
They treat you good over there?
Yeah, Sean, he always hooks me up over there.
Well, let's get into it. Top 5 movies of the week. Number 5, we have Monument Men.
Yeah, I saw it. I loved it. We both saw that. That was a movie both you and I saw, and what a great cast.
This week it's 7.9 million, running off at 57.9 million. Good cast. You know what? Right before we start, man, I forgot the Harold Ramis, man. Rest in peace, Harold Ramis. And if you're listening, Bill Murray, this is your shit. You're the one who screwed this up. You screwed up Ghostbusters 3 because you're such an asshole. Yeah, I said it. You're an asshole. So all the shit you do now, all your bullshit movies, they're going to suck now. You know why? Because you screwed it up for everybody. Everybody's going to hate you because you messed up the Ghostbusters franchise because you wanted to be selfish. Am I right?
Well, I mean, he didn't want to do another Ghostbuster. He's looking at more artful kinds of movies.
Then replace the man.
But he did do a very heartfelt message he put out on the Twitter sphere or on Facebook or whatever, saying how much what a great guy Harold Ramis was, and it's the type of person that you're never going to ever replace who he was as a person. He was just a wonderful soul and that sort of stuff. Everybody from the movies, Ghostbuster movies, talked about Harold Ramis and said some very, very heartfelt, sentimental things. So.
Well, look for the funeral to be maybe the end of this week, beginning of next week, and there's going to be a big procession, just like they did with Philip Seymour Hoffman. But I actually think that Harold Ramis is going to have a bigger one. I feel there's going to be a lot more people come out. He was a great actor, a great director, and a great producer. So I think his fan base and his friendships with Hollywood stars are bigger than Philip Seymour Hoffman. At number 4, we got RoboCop. This week it's made 9.8 million, running off at 44 million. And like I said, I like RoboCop. I know I was going in bashing it, saying it's gonna stink and it's not. Let's put it this way: it's not the original. It will never be the original. Okay, there's only one RoboCop. Okay, and that's the 1987 version. That's it.
And that's the thing about RoboCop. You know that you can go back and watch that original RoboCop. If the recent RoboCop isn't something you like, or you do like it, well, good. Then you have the new RoboCop and you have the old RoboCop. I myself thought this new RoboCop was a little convoluted, and I didn't like it as much as you. But I like the actors. I mean, think about it. I love the act. Michael Keaton, Gary Oldman, Samuel L. Jackson, Joel Kinnaman. Abby Cornish. I love the actors in it. I just thought the story itself was convoluted and hard to follow.
You know what? And this is another thing too. The original was actually rated X, and then they changed to R.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They couldn't get it. They couldn't get it to be an X-rated movie because back in the '80s, you got away with a lot more than you did now. But the X-rated movies, that was porn. So they wouldn't let it do it. But I'm going to tell you what. RoboCop 87, best in the whole trilogy. That's enough said. At number 3, we have Pompeii. This week it's made, well, you know what? This week it's made $10.3 million.
Yeah, I saw that in a sneak preview a couple of weeks ago, a screening a couple of weeks ago. And I was surprised how much I liked it. It's Titanic on land. It's predictable. You know the ending. But, I kind of felt for the characters. I felt for what they were going through in the movie. And that's why I guess what a movie is about. You have to buy into what the characters are going through. And I bought into what those characters, Kit Harington from Game of Thrones, was going through.
And like you said, it was a Titanic waiting to happen.
Yeah, it's Titanic on land.
I actually liked it. I was going into it knowing that it was going to suck. And what do you call those movies again?
Sword and Sandal movies.
And see, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not looking forward to see Noah, and I'm not looking forward to see Son of God. That's that stuff. Passion of the Christ. I don't like that kind of stuff. That's stuff that people say, oh, you got to see it. No, you really don't got to see it, because you know what? It doesn't hit the heart to me. I believe in God, and I believe in going to church. I haven't been in a while, but I want to start going. But I just don't like seeing stuff that's actually true to the Bible, like that kind of stuff.
Well, I love all kinds of genres of movies as long as they're done well. And it just so happens there's like 5 Sword and Sandal movies out in the first 3 months of the year, which is really strange,
Do you think that says something about this year, that they're putting all these movies out? Do you think there's a message or something they're trying to come across, the end of the world, or do you think there's something that they're trying to say because of these movies?
Yeah, actually, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I think it's people thought last year, they had this whole world is going to end thing. And so what do? They come up with these kinds of apocalyptic, world is ending, kind of barbarian, kind of, these kinds of historical biopics about God and Spartans and
you had
and all these movies.
2012 was supposed to be the end of the world, nothing happened. 2013 was supposed to be the apocalypse, nothing happened. Listen, people, when you die, you die. You don't know when it's going to happen. All right? So live your life the fullest. Don't regret nothing. And if you want to buy something, buy it up. That's how I live my life. At number 2, we have 3 Days to Kill, Kevin Costner. This week it's made $12.2 million. And you actually saw it today. You saw a triple feature today, huh?
Yeah, I saw a triple feature. I don't like to waste my days, and I try to see 2 or 3 movies sometimes in the same day. Yeah, I really, really liked 3 Days to Kill a lot. I mean, I like the relationship between Haley Steinfeld and Kevin Costner. Connie Nielsen was really good in limited parts. I thought Luc Besson really came up with some good sense of humor about spy movies and family, demographics and stuff like that. And they put it all together, and I really enjoyed it. I'll be honest.
Well, listen, you're not going to take our word for it. Go see it. I haven't seen it yet. I told Skip that I've heard some bad things about it, some bad reviews. And Skip liked it. What would you give it, Skip?
Oh, I'd definitely give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Or a big see it. Big see it for me.
He's gonna give it a big see it. And his Joe Popcorn's he would give it 8 bags of popcorn.
8 bags of popcorn for Popcorn Joe.
Popcorn Joe. Popcorn Joe, where you been, man? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't heard from you. Give us a call on Monday nights. Maybe we'd like to hear your popcorn. Theater porn references is what Popcorn Joe does.
He's got his way about talking about movies, that's for sure.
Well, at number 1 we have the Lego Movie. This week it's made $31.3 million, running off at $183 million. You haven't seen the Lego Movie.
No,
I saw it. I saw it with Veronica and my little guy Ethan, and you know what? Ethan fell asleep.
Did he really? Wow, with all that fast-paced
Ethan
action?
fell asleep at the Monster Truck Show.
Well, they only have so much energy.
But how do you sleep through something like that, man?
Yeah, it'd be pretty loud. I mean, it'd be like sleeping at the 500, How the heck can you sleep at the 500?
I was really looking forward to seeing if he was actually going to fall asleep at the 500. I was really looking forward to it. I kept thinking to myself, if we take him to this 500, he's going to fall asleep. But me and Veronica enjoyed it. Good kids film, and Ethan's not at that stage yet where he's into Legos. He likes cars a lot. He likes the movie Cars. He collects those. He collects regular cars. He likes fish. He's fascinated with fish and animals. He likes animals. So I know it's his bedtime now. He's probably not up, but good night, Ethan. But again, I liked the Lego Movie. I think it's unique. I like how at the end they bring live action into the Legos. But I'm not going to give it away. You're going to have to see it yourself. And that's our top 5 of the week, man. If you have any other things you want to say, you want to give a review yourself, give us a call next week. I was going to say give us a call tonight, but we don't have phones. Next week, give us a call, 724-444-7444, or you can always email me, bestdaymovieshow@yahoo.com. I'll take all your emails, questions, or go to bestdaymovieshow.com and type in what you saw, what you liked, what you're going to see, anything related to movies, movie news, anything like that, and we'll have you on the show, and we'll read your comments and your questions.
And I just want to add, if you're interested in Sword and Sandal films, you can go to From the Fourth Row at WordPress.com and look at my blog. I do a whole blog on my favorite Sword and Sandal films, and I also do a blog on Kevin Costner films. He's got a lot of movies out in theaters right now, so you can check out some of that information if you're interested.
Well, we have movies that are hitting DVD and Blu-ray this week for February 24th, 2014. We actually have a couple good ones this week. We have a lot
big ones.
Couple big ones. We're going to start off with Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
That's a big one this week. New to own on Blu-ray and DVD. Nebraska is another one. Great flick. Me and Skip got to saw the sneak preview, but at the end of last year we saw Nebraska?
Yeah, we saw it. Actually, we saw it in December.
And Nebraska is nominated for an award, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nominated for Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Actor, Bruce Dern, Best Supporting Actress, June Squibb, Best Picture, and I think Best Adapted Screenplay. Original screenplay.
You also have Sandra Bullock and George Clooney's Gravity that came out today. And if you're a big George Clooney fan and you're expecting to see him a lot of this movie, you're going to get your hopes up. Because he's only in this movie, I'm going to say, no more than 20, 30 minutes. He's not, he floats off in space and does his own thing. And
it's a Sandra Bullock movie, but really the star of this movie is the special effects. I mean, you really believe that this movie takes place in space. That's how good the special effects in Gravity are. And I think all that is due to Alfonso Cuarón. This movie took like 3 months to make and a year and a half to do the special effects. So that tells you how much energy and how much heart and how much detail they put into the special effects to make this movie look right.
Those are your big ones coming out. If you're a big Adventure Time, which is a cartoon series, the 3rd season of Adventure Time comes out. I know that you're not a big fan of that. I know one of your favorite actresses is having a movie out this week, Hilary Duff. I know you're a big Hilary Duff fan.
Nah.
The Wedding Pact is coming out. I know you're a big fan of Hilary Duff and you want to see it. So, it's a great chance for you to go and rent a kitty comedy and pop it in and put some popcorn on and let Popcorn Joe over it.
Well, you didn't really talk too much about Thor. Thor: The Dark World is the second to end lead up to the Avengers: Age of Ultron. You get Captain America coming out in another month. You got Guardians of the Galaxy coming out in August. But Thor leads up to that. There's a nice cameo scene in the credits of something you might want to look forward to in Guardians of the Galaxy. Plus, it has something to do with the Infinity Gauntlet. But I really enjoyed Thor: The Dark World. Chris Hemsworth is fantastic. Natalie Portman I really liked a lot. I can't wait. They've already greenlit a 3rd Thor movie. So,
I know, I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, and you can also go on FromTheFourthRow.com at WordPress.com and look at my Marvel blog, where Marvel has gone with their movies and where they're going, and Thor: The Dark World's in there. So I have a whole rundown of the entire Phase 2 and Phase 3 movies of the Avengers as well.
Speaking of Captain America, Mr. Chris Hemsworth was in town Sunday. He was the Grand Marshal at the Daytona 500.
Chris Evans, you mean?
Sorry, what'd I say?
Chris Hemsworth?
I'm sorry.
You mixed up Thor and Captain America.
Chris Evans was in. He was in Daytona. He looked pretty. He looked a little scruffy.
He looked like he was having a lot of fun, if you ask me.
Let's get into some movie news. I know there's a little bit there. I know one I want to talk about is fans have started to gather around some of the Ghostbusters sets, and the first one they visited was the firehouse.
Oh, really?
The fans are paying tribute to Harold Ramis, who died Monday morning in L.A., and he'll be very missed.
Yeah, it's a sad. I mean, you think of the movies that he was involved in one way or another, acting or producing or directing. Animal House. What's the one where they were all in the military? Stripes, Ghostbusters, Groundhog Day. I mean, he's been involved with so many movies over the years. Sometimes you say, really, he was involved in that? Wow. Yeah, he's been in a lot of comedies in the '80s, and he's definitely got to be missed.
Well, I know. On another note, I know this is pretty early to be talking about it, but Ghostbusters 3 still moving forward.
Really?
They are going to be doing the reworked script because Harold Ramis is not alive anymore, so he cannot participate in the movie. So they're going to rewrite it. I mean, do you think it's a little too soon to be writing the Ghostbusters? Tell me what you think. Go to thebestdaymovieshow.com and give us your comments. I actually think it is a little too early. Just like Fast and Furious, they haven't really touched it. Fast and Furious 7, they've kind of left it alone for a little bit. They're still talking about what they're going to do, and but they're not moving forward and filming and stuff yet until the beginning of April.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. But the thing about Ghostbusters is this has already been. Harold Ramis was actually part of Ghostbusters 3 in the production side of it, the script side of it, whatever. And so, I mean, the idea that I had heard about having new Ghostbuster people, like students in college or something like that, I thought that was a good idea, and having cameos from those guys like they were professors.
Oh, I thought it was too. I thought it was real good.
But yeah, so obviously you're going to have to rework it because he's not going to be in it. You're right.
On another note here, I hope I'm saying his name right. Marco Weber will be directing The Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Mark Webber, he was already the director of Amazing Spider-Man 1, and he directed Amazing Spider-Man 2 out in May. It makes sense because they're trying to have these movies where they're going to have like the Sinister Six, and they're already setting this up as a Spider-Man cinematic universe, so why not keep the same director that's part of it? And then he's also involved with the Venom movie and the Sinister Six movie down the road, so he's going to be a producer and director. So yeah, you want to keep the same people involved. He's basically the godfather of the Spider-Man universe.
We Are the Millers is getting a sequel.
Yeah, We Are the Millers was a popular comedy this summer, and I absolutely loved it. It was my second favorite comedy of the year. It was a no-brainer that We Are the Millers are going to get a sequel, in my opinion. I thought it was fantastic.
Here's one that I did not know. Shrek franchise may continue with the 5th installment of Shrek. You know that the final chapter was out in 2010, and I think Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy and Cameron Diaz want to do another one. They want to do a 5th one.
Well, a couple of those names come to mind that maybe they're not really doing a whole lot right now, and that's Eddie Murphy and Mike Myers. Well, so they're like, well, let's go do something else.
Well, Eddie Murphy had that show, Beverly Hills Cop, that was supposed to be a TV show coming on actually last year, and they shot the first pilot, and then they canned it.
Sometimes when they shoot the pilot and the people that are in charge of it at the networks don't like it, man, they don't go forward. I
can't see them wasting all that money on a movie or a show and then canning it.
Well, it happens all the time. There's a lot of pilots. There's close to 200 pilots shot every year, and the amount of pilots that actually get made into TV shows, maybe between 6 and 10 every year. 6 and 10 of those 200 pilots. Like I got my fingers crossed for The Flash. I want The Flash to be turned into a TV show, and with The Flash appearing in Arrow, I hope I got my fingers crossed. I want that to be turned into a show.
They're already talking to Carl Urban for a Dredd 2.
Really?
Already talking, and he is saying that there is already controversy happening with the movie.
Well, that wasn't a very good movie in my opinion. I know some people liked it. I just thought there was a lot wrong with it. But hey, if enough people surround it and embrace it, that's all that matters. I mean, it didn't make any money, so I'm shocked that they would make a movie, a sequel to something that didn't make any money. But it did not cost a lot either. So
Ted 2 sets to have their female role as Amanda Seyfried as the leading role for Seth MacFarlane's rated R comedy Ted 2.
yeah, I like Amanda Seyfried. She hasn't done a lot of great stuff, but she's good eye candy, and that's always worth something.
Bradley Cooper attached to star in crime drama American Blood.
American Blood, I don't know what it is, but I buy anything that Bradley Cooper is involved in.
It's about a New York officer who is forced to enter a witness protection program in Mexico after becoming a mob informative, but is attempted out of laying low by the investigation. I like Bradley Cooper, man. I think Bradley Cooper's last couple of movies, besides American Hustle, I don't know what it was about American Hustle, but American Hustle rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
I mean, it didn't rub that many people the wrong way because it got nominated for Best Picture, and all the actors in it got nominated for acting Oscars, and the director and the screenplay got nominated. So it must not have rubbed the people that matter the wrong way, because that thing got nominated for 11 Oscars.
Can I just tell you, nobody gives a shit about us. All them old farts are gonna like it because listen. Let me tell you something, Hollywood. You're gonna tell me the whole year of 2013, from January until December, that you're gonna tell me that there's no movies at all that could be nominated for an Oscar? You're going to wait till the last month or two to pick out the Oscars? There's something wrong there. And this is why I don't like the Oscars. Because I feel like they fuck around too much and they pick these stupid-ass movies and this movie and that movie and this movie. Give everybody else a chance. I mean, Hollywood's set up. Nobody gives a shit about you. If you're not Bradley Cooper, George Clooney, Bruce Stern, any of those guys, you're not going to get nominated, which I think is a hunk of junk. And that's why I don't like watching the Oscars, because it's a bunch of phony baloney people drinking their nice-ass wine, sipping on their cheese. Oh, you can't sip on cheese. Eating their cheese, and it's bullshit. It's a big bullshit. All them award shows are all bullshit, because you know why? The people that actually make the films big and go and see them and spend a hard-earned money, they're the ones that actually make the movie as successful as it is. But they don't give a shit about us. No, we're just ants on the floor that get stepped on by all the Hollywood producers. That's what I think about Hollywood. I know you're going to say something else, but that's how I feel, It's why I don't like, all my friends are like, oh, the Oscars. Fuck the Oscars. I watch the Oscars to see who won. That's it. I don't give a shit. I can care less if Bradley Cooper adds 3 more awards to his collection. I don't care. I'm not getting an award.
Well, I agree with you to some extent. I mean,
really, dude.
But they do. They have a plan. When the movies are made, they have a plan, and a lot of times the plan is to release them if they think they can win some awards, to release them in October, November, December. That's a calculated plan on the producers and the people in the upper office of these companies, Sony, 20th Century Fox, Warner Brothers, Lionsgate, whatever, you know what I mean? And so it seems like all the movies are coming out around that time, but they plan it that way. They do it on purpose, because what are you going to think of? Are you going to think of, look, I'll give you an example, a movie that I like a lot. I like it a lot, A Place Beyond the Pines. It came out in March of last year. by August, nobody gave a crap about A Place Beyond the Pines, and nobody even thought about that movie when Oscar season, the award season came. How about even The Butler? I mean, you didn't. I mean, some people didn't like The Butler, but I loved The Butler. I thought the performances were great. It was a great movie. Nobody even thinks about The Butler come Oscar time because it came out in August. You know, so what happens is sometimes you have that they forget. What have I seen lately? What's the most recent thing on my mind?
Yeah, but you know what? It's not what we think. It's what they think.
Yeah, what's their scene?
But they get these movie screeners way in advance. It's like, who gives a shit if it comes out in December? You have the movie in June. Who cares? If Oscars is not told next year in March, you have the movie in June. So what are you complaining about? I listen. I just think it's a hunk of junk. That's what I think. I think it's set up. I think people are going to win the Oscars because they're favorited to win. They're friends with the producer's friends with this guy. This guy shakes hands with the sheriff, and that guy jerks this guy off, and this guy blows that guy,
Well,
and there you go.
There are Oscar campaigns. Some of the bigger budget movies or the studios have Oscar campaigns where they put advertisements out there in newspapers, in trade magazines and stuff like that, in like Variety or that, like this month, they've re-released a couple of the movies. Gravity, Captain Phillips. Some of the movies get re-released.
Captain Phillips. You want to talk about a chamois? Tom Hanks. Two good movies: Saving Mr. Banks and Captain Phillips. Did he get nominated for nothing?
No.
No. You know why? I have a feeling why. Because he's too damn old. That's why. Oh, I'm sorry. Because Bruce Dern's what? 89 years old, pretty much older than dirt, and he's getting nominated. So tell me again, Hollywood, why wouldn't you nominate one of the best actors that's been around since the early 90s? The early 70s, late 80s. And you're going to tell me that none of his movies that he made this year, Saving Mr. Banks and Captain Phillips, were worthy enough to be on there? Oh, okay.
Well, the thing is, if you follow the Oscars, you follow Hollywood and acting, and so the hardest category, the toughest category this year was male best actor. You could sit here and name off 12 to 15 actors.
I can name you one person that shouldn't be in there.
That should have been nominated for best actor.
Christian Bale should not be in there.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I mean, if you look at Christian Bale's work, and I didn't think he was horrible this year, and you put him up to Tom Hanks, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer.
He blows Christian Bale.
It's a no-brainer.
He blows himself to Castaway Land.
You definitely have to take, in my opinion, Tom Hanks. I mean, Christian Bale out of there and put Tom Hanks in. I'll even do you one more. I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio deserves to be in there.
What, has he been in one movie this year?
Two. Great Gatsby and
Oh boy, because The Great Gatsby was talked up, right?
I actually liked him in The Great Gatsby.
You liked it, and so did I. But do you hear about The Great Gatsby anymore? No, you don't. You know why? Nobody gives a shit about
music. The music is the only thing that became famous from that movie.
Yeah, but this is what makes me mad. You know, and you're right. They do this on purpose to put all the movies out, but it's not right to everybody else. You know, and that's where I think the movie industry should boycott. I think they should pick it, because it's a shammy that all these people make these great movies and they make all these even if it's not serious. There's tons of comedies that came out this year that was good. There's tons of dramas and I'm not even going to mention horror because I know you don't like horror. But there's it
was a horrible year for horror, no pun intended.
But I mean, for God's sake, give him a chance, man. Give him a chance. I mean, there's actors. Listen. Oh God, what's his name? What was the guy in Wall Street? Not
Michael Douglas.
Not Michael Douglas. No. Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall. Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
I hated that character in that movie.
Listen, Jonah Hill would have never been an Oscar contender if he didn't meet the right people. Jonah Hill is a comedian and always be a comedian, okay? That's what he's known for. He did Superbad. He did a lot of things. Okay, when you saw him in Superbad, you never expected him to be an Oscar contender actor ever.
This is actually his second nomination. He was nominated.
Oh, for Moneyball.
For Moneyball.
Yeah, but even like Adam Sandler, Seth Green, Seth Meyers, Amy Poehler,
Seth MacFarlane, all the sets.
Yeah. None of those guys.
Tina Fey.
Yeah, none of them people are ever going to be considered Oscar contenders because they're comedians. But somehow Jonah Hill pulled it all out, and here he is in his second nomination for an Oscar. Boy, oh boy! I tell you what are we doing wrong, Skip?
I don't know. I want to drink what Jonah Hill's drinking, and eat what he's eating.
I feel like we're a bunch of old farts.
Because he's really doing something right.
I'm telling you.
Maybe you're right. He met the right people.
I don't think that Wolf of Wall Street should have been 3 hours. I think it was too long. I think 3 hours for that movie. I think there was a lot of things that could have been. Listen, Jonah Hill kept screwing around, getting him in trouble, and all this shit in that movie. That movie could have been 2 hours and 35 minutes cut to that, and it would have been fine with me, and it would have held up in the movie theater, and you would have known all about it. But no, they had to make it a 3-hour movie.
3 hours is the same thing: debauchery, drug abuse, alcoholism, womanizing, and screwing people who really couldn't afford to lose their money out of their money. And to me, as the further down the line I go on that movie, I just get more fed up with it, more sick of it.
I tell you what, after 2 hours and 20 minutes, I was like, oh my God, will you get to the point? I understand you all are drug addicts and you don't care about your wives and you like to cheat on them and drink booze and sniff coke and beat this guy up and throw this guy's fish and eat this fish. I mean, for God's sake, just go on with the movie.
Yeah, I
Are you going to fall asleep on me, Scott?
No, I'm not going to fall asleep on you. I'm yawning a little bit, but I'm not going to fall asleep on you.
So you're Syracuse, and they're 2 and what, 25 now?
26-2.
I tell you what, I was with Skippy Boy over here when we went to go see Need for Speed last week, and his Syracuse were playing, and that's when they lost the first game. Boy, was he sipping his beer fast. That beer was going into his belly quicker than I can look at it because he was pissed.
Yeah, I had to see my teams lose.
Hey, you know what?
I didn't think
This is a curse on me. You remember last week what I lost?
You lost.
What did I lose last week at the theater? Remember I had to go and find them?
Tickets?
No, I lost my keys.
Oh, your keys. Now this week you lose your ticket.
Yeah, last week I put sorry, not my keys, my wallet. Last week I put my wallet down in the ice cream shop next to the theater, and I go inside and I forget it, so I had to backtrack where it was. This week, me and Veronica, or I took Veronica with me to go get some dinner in the mall, and I switched the ticket into a different pocket so I could put water in the pocket and I lose my ticket. I'm telling you what, man, there's some kind of hanks on me. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. But Mr. Skip, I'm gonna cut us short. I want to do a test run and make sure that we're doing okay. If you like what you've seen, please leave feedback on the YouTube channel. Let me know what we can improve. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you didn't like. So forth and so on. I'll take any comments. I don't care. Criticism makes the best person go around. But you can always also leave comments at thebestmovieshow.com. You can find out where our show's going to be on, where we're going to be at, and leave your reviews and our reviews there. Skip, where can they find you?
You can always find me at from the fourth row at WordPress.com. My name, Dan Skip Allen, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Well, until next week, tune in next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, or you can go and listen to us on TalkShoe.com. We'll be doing a simulcast video and audio feed. So if you want to listen to us, you can. You want to watch us, you can. But until next week, I'm Vince Espada.
Skip.
And we'll see you at the movies. Good night, everybody.